Week 16 opens up with one of the most consequential Thursday night games of the season between the Rams and Seahawks. Today we're discussing who's out, who's questionable, and reviewing a little bit of the history to see what it could possibly tell us. Let's talk about it. What's up, football fans? Rams and Seahawks fans, we got one for you. Your two teams kick off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern tonight at Lumen Field, and you can catch the game on Prime Video and NFL Plus. Both teams enter this matchup at 11-3, but the Rams hold the tiebreaker over the Seahawks after their win earlier this season. Currently, the Seahawks sit 5th in the NFC Conference, while the Rams sit in 1st. So this game not only carries a lot of weight divisionally, but could carry a lot of weight in the conference. Let's hop into it. When it comes to injury reports, these two teams offer some of the easiest we've gone through all season. For the Seahawks, offensive tackle Charles Cross dealing with a hamstring is the only player listed as out. In total, you had 10 players listed on your injury report, with 6 of those being defensive players. Now let's look at the Rams. Defensive end Braden Fiske dealing with an ankle is listed as questionable, and wide receiver Davante Adams dealing with a knee and hamstring is listed as doubtful. In total, you had just 6 players listed on your injury report this week, with 4 of those being offensive players. The all-time series between these two sits tied at 28 wins apiece, dating back to October 31st of 1976, where the Rams would take the initial victory 45-6. These two teams have gone to overtime just 4 times in their matchup's history, with the Rams winning 3 of those. The most recent being last season on November 3rd, where the Rams took the victory 26-20. The Rams sit 7-3 in the last 10 matchups, and as we discussed earlier, took the victory earlier this season, with a tight score of 21-19. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in the matchup, but by the end of the game still had the Seahawks just a few yards away from taking the victory. Now let's do a little stat check. The Rams offense currently sits 2nd in the league in passing yards per game with 257.1, and 8th in rushing yards per game with 126.4. The Seahawks defense currently sits 7th in passing yards allowed per game with 191.4, and 3rd in rushing yards allowed per game with just 91.6. The Seahawks offense currently sits 8th in passing yards per game with 237.6, and 22nd in rushing yards per game with 113. Meanwhile, the Rams defense sits 19th in passing yards allowed per game with 219.7, and 9th in rushing yards allowed per game with 101.1. For this matchup, the Seahawks will be wearing their high decibel zone rivalry uniforms, while the Rams wear their classic uniforms. So Seahawks and Rams fans, what do you think? Who do you think takes the lead in the division tonight? What stands out to you today? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know down below, and don't forget to like and follow for all of your latest NFL news and updates.